My Spartan brothers, it is time! Here we go. So welcome to the Spartan vlog. My name is Ben Griffiths, creator and founder of the Spartan movement. Now, I'm coming at you today with this vlog to help guys over 30 get lean, defined, toned, healthy, start to actually see some real tangible results, feel good consistently, and develop that 1% mindset. Now, these are 5 common mistakes that I'm seeing men over 30 make, and I want to give you some solutions and actions for what actually to do instead. So number 1 is following an old school bodybuilding split routine training program. So what happens a lot of the time is guys, when they follow a training program in the gym and when they're lifting weights, is they will go back to the old school mentality of thinking, right, okay, so on a Monday I'm going to work my shoulders, on a Tuesday I'm going to work my back, on a Wednesday I'm going to work my legs, arms, etc. throughout the week. Or they think about the training program where they might do a split routine where you've got like working different muscle groups. So you might do shoulders and legs, chest and back. Now, that has some benefits to it, that way of training, but what I want you to think about is, it's fine when you're in your 20s as well, but as you get into your 30s, 40s and 50s and beyond, your body changes, and the way you train should change with it. Hormonally you change. The way you have to look after yourself, your growth hormone, your testosterone, things change within your body from a hormonal level, and also you're very susceptible to injuries as well. So what I want you to think about, instead of this old school mentality of a split routine, is doing a full body workout. So working your body in a way where, think about it like this, you're doing a vertical press, might be a shoulder press, a vertical pull, which might be a wide grip pull up or a lat pull down. Then you're doing a horizontal press, like a dumbbell press or a bench press, and then a horizontal pull, like you'd be using a flat bar and you're pulling yourself up. Works a similar sort of muscle. You could be doing a row, whether it be a seated row or a bent over row, but there's a horizontal pulling action within that. Then you might do a rotational movement, so you're working your body in all the different planes available to it. Then you might do a hip dominant exercise like kettlebell swing or a squat, something like that. So you're working your whole body within one training session rather than this split routine mentality. And also it puts less pressure on the joints if you're constantly doing shoulder exercises, 4 or 5 throughout that training session, instead of doing a full body workout where you're working in these different planes and you're working your whole body in different movements. So that's number 1. Number 2 is this idea of clean eating and cheat day overeating. So what happens a lot of the time is people eat clean. So they eat clean, as I mentioned in other videos, eating clean is eating whole food. So anything that is natural from the ground, doesn't have any chemical additives, isn't processed, which is fine, which is great, which is healthy. But for losing body fat, gaining some muscles, sometimes we need to tweak that and think about your caloric intake. So your calorific intake is just as important as well. And as I talked about before, your protein, your macronutrients, proteins, your fats, and your carbohydrates. So think about it like this. So I'm eating clean, I'm eating whole foods throughout the week. My vegetables might be my chicken, my fish. If I'm a vegan, might be lentils, my rice, my oats, some nut butters, etc. And I'm eating those throughout the week. And I've got a basis of, say, 2,000 calories a day to lose body fat, for instance, as an example. So I'm eating 2,000 calories a day and I'm losing body fat. And my goal is to lose body fat. So over the 7 days of the week, and this is the most important thing, guys, it's about the whole week of your intake of your calories, not just individual days. And that's why I think people mistake it for individual days. They think, I'm going to eat clean for the week and then I'm going to splurge at the weekend, but it doesn't really work like that. It's the whole week that counts. So going back to this 2,000 calories. So I'm going to eat 2,000 calories of clean, healthy food for 7 days. Now, 2,000 calories times 7 is 14,000 calories for your week. Sounds quite a lot. 14,000 calories for your week. Now, the problem is, if you have a couple of cheat days at the weekend, say a Saturday and Sunday, and you do 5,000 calories a day, then you've eaten 3,000 calories extra over 2 days. That's 6,000 calories extra over the whole week. And then you're wondering, well, I'm eating clean during the week and I'm having a cheat day, but I'm not losing any body fat. The reason is because you're overeating by 6,000 calories, because it's your weekly calories that make the most difference. So really what you want to do, and this goes back to flexible dieting, is, and it doesn't always matter what you eat to a certain degree, obviously you still want to be healthy and get your micronutrients in. But the idea is that you want to stay within a caloric deficit throughout the whole 7 days, not just for 5 days. So this idea of a cheat day, I would forget about that and just eat within a caloric deficit throughout that week. And if you want to have a cheat day or a day, I don't even call it a cheat day, a day when you eat more processed food on a Friday like I do, you know, on a Friday night, then just save your calories up for the day and use them for that Friday night. And you can still lose fat doing that. Okay, so number 3, motivation is BS. And I truly believe that. Any success in life, and especially changing your body, if you're just motivated by, I want to get to single digit body fat, or I want to get to this fitness level, a lot of the time that motivation could fail. There needs to be an emotional connection to back that up. Yes, it has to be specific and you want to have a measurable kind of goal to get towards, but it has to be an emotional state of reason. Like for me, you know, I have a 2.5-year-old daughter, Gracie May, that drives me on to be a healthy dad. I want to look good. I'm going to be 40, not long, you know, I want to look good. That's an emotional reason, you know, and I see people who I aspire to, you know, 40s, 50s, you know, even celebrities that are in good shape. You think, well, if they can do it, why can't I do it? You know, so you have to have an emotional attachment. It might be because, you know, maybe a relative passed away young and you don't want to be that person. So there needs to be an emotional driver to create that to happen. So instead of this motivation, think about what I consider the 5 Ps. So purpose, having a purpose, then having a specific plan that's going to make that purpose happen. What is your plan? You know, where is your plan to get there? You need to have a plan and be specific with that. After that is performance. Performance is, how are you performing when you're training? Your form, your technique, you know, am I squatting in the right position? Am I pressing with my shoulders back and down? Am I pressing low, pushing my shoulders back and my chest maintained out as I'm pressing? Am I pulling in the right position? So performance is key after planning. Progress. How do I know if you're progressing or not? Is my body fat going up? Is my body fat going down? Are my weights going up or down? Am I actually progressing? Then you need to know that. And these are things which will help you. And void of motivation, they will give you targets. You have targets at work, you have targets you have to hit. It's exactly the same with training. Most important, any success in life is persistence. You go again, you go again, you go again. You do not give up. It is the persistence that is the most important. Enthusiasm is common. To endure is rare, is one of my favorite quotes, because again, everyone starts the gym within January, they finish, they've given up because motivation is BS. So have the 5 Ps that I mentioned. Purpose, plan, performance, progress, persistence, my brothers. Get after it. Okay, so healthy isn't always what it seems. So a lot of the times, we go to the supermarket and we're looking around the aisles. You have that cabinet, it's got the sandwiches, it's got your fruit juices, and you think, oh, innocent smoothie, that's got to be healthy. Now, some of those innocent smoothies and these health drinks as such are loaded with calories. You know, can be up to, I think I looked at one before, it's full of sugar, had about, I think, 40 grams of sugar, I think it was, and like about 200, might even be 250 calories, something like that. So even some of the things that are looked at as healthy are not always healthy as you think they are. So don't always believe the labeling, have a good look at, and this goes back to tracking your food and using MyFitnessPal. Put in some of the foods you eat within that, as I've talked about in other videos, because it will give you a sense and it will help educate you. You don't have to use it all the time, but it will help educate you. How many calories are in this fruit juice compared to something else? How much protein is in it? How much sugar's in it? You know, because don't always believe the packaging. Just because something seems to be healthy, it isn't always the case. Okay, so last one is sometimes a bit of a controversial one that people get a little bit upset about, that love running. Now, don't get me wrong, going for a run is great for your health. It's great for your cardiovascular system. It's been proven time and time again that running helps your cardiovascular system to feel fitter and to keep you healthy. But we're talking about fat loss here and getting lean and defined. But lifting weights from a hormonal perspective, building muscle, you know, lifting weights increases testosterone, increases growth hormone, which is going to help to work towards increasing muscle mass and lean tissue. And that in itself is going to help to burn more calories, because the more muscle mass you have, the more lean tissue you have, the more fat you're going to burn. The only limitation sometimes from a fat loss perspective with running is running can be a little bit catabolic unless you're doing things like sprints where you're ramping up the growth hormone and you're bursting, you're using the big muscle fibers. So don't get me wrong, the way that I would use running within a training program or jogging is you could do it, once a week, twice a week, but you need to keep your protein high. You need to keep doing your compound lifts like your bench press, your military press, your deadlifting, I think I've mentioned squatting. So all the main big compound lifts, all the major muscles, you need to be doing that. I would do some sprints. Running is great in terms of freeing your mind and escapism and having a moment where you listen to some music and get out there. But for actually getting lean and defined and tone, you don't even necessarily have to do that much cardio. It's much more about your nutrition and the weights that you're lifting and making sure you're tracking them, as I mentioned, in performance, progress, planning. This type of area is really crucial, guys. So those are 5 common mistakes that I see a lot. Hopefully that has given you a starting point to think about in terms of taking some action. I'm going to be back. We're going to do this regularly. Spartan TV will launch soon, where we can give you regular tips, hints, suggestions, solutions to start to see noticeable results. And I'm coming up to 40 now, and you don't accept that this is it in terms of results. You can get great results as you go into your 40s and your 50s and beyond. It's just about knowing how to go about it and certain mistakes not to make. Thanks for listening, guys. This is Ben Griffiths from the Project Spartan Movement.